Hello everyone, Evie the Original Master here, and welcome back to another VeggieTales review. Today I'm here to review Noah's Ark, which was released on March 3rd of 2015. So recently this episode has turned 4 years old, and I am here to review this episode to celebrate its 4th anniversary. And there's really no need to celebrate this episode because this episode was a waste of potential. If you guys didn't know that, back in 1998, I believe, Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki did have plans for a Noah's Ark story for VeggieTales, but they didn't have the time to produce it. So they waited till 2015 to produce a Noah's Ark story, and it could have been a lot better if it was done back in the 90s when VeggieTales had the original character designs. Is because that's one of my biggest problems with this episode is that they used the characters redesigns from VeggieTales in the House and VeggieTales in the City. Well, this came out before VeggieTales in the City because VeggieTales in the City came out in 2017 and VeggieTales in the House came around November of 2014. So they used the characters redesigns for this episode. So pros and cons about this episode. The pros are for Noah's Ark. I will give them credit. Some of the visuals in this episode did look pretty great, but there's a lot of cons in this episode. First of all, Shem, the new character, who is actually Noah's son, is a very, very bland character. I don't like this character. I don't like Shem. He was very annoying. There were way too much songs in this episode. Not saying that the songs of VeggieTales are bad, but these songs in general do not feel like VeggieTales songs. They feel like songs that should be something like on a pop CD or some crap, because all the songs had way too much of that pop R&B kind of like singing, and it doesn't fit VeggieTales. When I hear VeggieTales songs, I hear songs like "God is bigger than the boogeyman," like the really upbeat, catchy, wacky songs. That's what VeggieTales songs sounds like. But pop and R&B, that's not VeggieTales. That does not sound like VeggieTales at the slightest. So that's another con that I have with this episode. The silly song with Larry, My Golden Egg, was horrible. It wasn't even written by Mike Naraki or Phil Vischer. It was written by some other person. You see, all these new songs that was written for this episode were not done by the creators of VeggieTales. They were written by some other staff that they hired. And I was like, okay, these songs are just okay. They weren't anything too great. And, yeah, and then another problem that I have with this episode is that the jokes weren't even that funny. Like, some of the jokes were okay, like the elephant in the room, and Bob and Larry admiring their new looks because this was the redesign of the characters. So Bob and Larry were actually talking about their looks in the beginning of this episode, which was pretty okay, I guess. I mean, I don't know. But with that all said and done, Noah's Ark was not really that good of an episode. It was wasted potential. I wish they produced this episode back in the 90s like they promised, but things were in the way of things, so they couldn't produce it at the time. So I kind of understand that. But again, this episode could have been way better if it was, like I said, was produced back in the 90s or either the early 2000s at least with the original character designs. This episode could have been a whole lot better if that was the case, but that's not what we got. So overall, Noah's Ark, I'm gonna give this episode a 4 out of 10. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10 because it's not that great. I know I didn't talk about much about this episode, but there really isn't to discuss about this episode because that it's not really that great. Well, hope you guys enjoyed my review for Noah's Ark, and I'll see you guys next time with my final VeggieTales review. Veggies in Space, the Funnel Frontier. There we go. God made you special and loves you very much. Goodbye.